Sup, y'all? So, I wanted to tell you about this crazy, kind of scary dream I had and like the significance of it. I'm here at the park, chilling. My kid is playing, and I told him about the dream, and he was like, yeah, you should make a video. So, it won't be that long, but anyway, so basically the dream was I was in my room. I was in my own room, my own house, and it like pretty much looked exactly like my house, my room. My two kids were there, which makes sense because I had like a 4-day weekend with just two of them because one, the other ones were other places. So, but it was super weird. Like, basically, everywhere that I was looking, I saw bugs. And it was like all kinds of different ones. Like, none that isn't it beautiful out, by the way? It's so pretty out. So I was seeing like ants, all kinds that I don't even know the names of, and then like in particular one that was like up on my ceiling that was like a big round yellow one with spots, and a lot of them were more like the kind that crawl, and they weren't like attacking me though. They weren't like trying to attack me. It was just the fact that they were there. And I do a lot of like, subconscious work, whatever. Anyway, when I finally got up in the morning, which was super weird because in my dream, I was so freaking tired that I couldn't get up, and that's kind of how I felt today. Because, like, sometimes I wake up at, like, 4 in the morning, and I can't go back to sleep. And then I finally go back to sleep, like, after my kids leave for school. And then I sleep, like, later than I would have really wanted to. But, like, I'm so tired I can't get up. So it's, like, kind of whack. But, so all these bugs, right? And I Googled the meaning of this, and I'm like, it's telling me it's your subconscious, like your subconscious fears and anxieties just coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, But one thing that I noticed in particular during the dream was that I was trying to speak out loud to my son to get my phone, because my idea was I was gonna like put on an HZ to like repel bugs. And I mean, I've done this before. Like, I use those HZs for everything. Like 417 HZ is going to get rid of some negative energy. I've used certain HZs to just get rid of, like, when we're outside and I notice like mosquitoes around, like I'll put on a mosquito repellent frequency, just whatever, like I know what, but then this was my breakthrough idea, and this is kind of the point of the video, because like, what if I did repel all those bugs? Where were they gonna go? Were they just gonna go hide in my clothes? Were they just gonna go into a corner or into the walls? Like, where would they go? And what's the difference whether or not I can see them, or if they're still there but I just can't see? And I think this is just like such the profound thing about self-awareness and what's in your subconscious mind. And like, so many people don't even want to know. And I guess that's why I'm different. Anybody who probably follows me is different. Like, we do want to know. We do want to know because truly our subconscious is what's creating our life. And like, if you're just doomed when you get here from birth, you're carrying the subconscious of all your ancestors that didn't bother to heal. And I don't want to say didn't bother. There was probably no resources to even attempt this, but you're coming in not only with what you experience as a baby, as a toddler, as a young child, that all forms your subconscious mind, everything that happens to you until you're like, what in the fuck? Why is my life shit? Why is my life hell? You know? And you're like, I don't want it to be hell, but why is it? And so, like, you just dig. And this is, like, kind of what I've been doing for, like, all these years, trying to figure out, okay, why does nobody love me? Why am I, like, why am I, like, invisible or something? Like, why am I not supported? Stuff like this, like these questions. Obviously, the things that make me the most sad in life, and like, why have I raised my kids alone for years? Like, why has another year gone by? Like, I don't know. Like, these are all things that, like, extremely make my life so painful. And yeah, okay, I get it. A lot of people, they have it so much worse. Okay, I get it. But that's not the point. Everybody has their own journey and their own path. And so many are choosing to not even be aware of why they're on a path. And I guess that's the kind of point, like, okay, so I'm sitting there like, wait a second. If these bugs are really here and they're in my room and they're in my house and I repel them to go back into hiding, does that all of a sudden mean they're not there? No, they're still there. I just can't see them. So what good is that? And like, I really try to just not be afraid. Like, not be afraid of seeing what's in your own subconscious, because whether you see it or not, it's there anyway. And I guess that's the whole point. Whether you choose to see it or not, it is still there. And I think that really came up for me like a couple moons ago, and I did post a video about this. It was like one of them videos, if you scroll down, about I didn't want to like relive my rape trauma. Like, I usually would lay in my bed when, you know, it's usually at nighttime when I'm trying to find peace is when all this stuff comes to the surface for me. And what I would usually do is like try to shut it out and try to think of something else, or, you know, put on a meditation to get me to a peaceful zone. But really what I'm doing is like just shoving it down. It doesn't mean it's not there. It already happened. Like, I was the one there. So why am I scared of something I've already been through? And that's when I decided, you know what? Let me just fucking see this vividly. Let me talk about it. Let me describe, you know? And I really didn't go into details of describing how disgusting it was to wake up at 3 a.m. with somebody I would never choose on top of me. But, you know, I didn't go into detail and all that, but the feelings of what I went through, they're in there. They're in me. They live in my body. They cause me pain. unknowingly every day. So why am I scared to face something that's in me? Like, this is what people don't understand about, they're too scared to see what's already in them. So yeah. And it's like a lot of people, a lot of people don't want to deal with their PTSD head on. A lot of them, it's so hard. It's because it's painful, obviously. So it's like, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying, like, the fact of the matter is, we go through things that are unbearable. But the worst part is when you have no support to get through that. Like, I froze. I was in a state of freeze for 10 years before I could even stand up for myself to my own family. And I use the term family loosely. I would say the people that are related to me, that I would see maybe twice a year, who basically label me as some stupid slut that just gets pregnant, when in reality that wasn't farther from the truth. I was actually a born-again virgin and taking my life very seriously to not end up how I ended up. And, that was stolen from me. And to this day, years later, I'm still paying for this in the life that I had to lead. I was truly saving myself. I was truly dedicated to bettering myself. I was raising the kids I already had. And I was on that path. But anyway, like I said, I'm not here to just get into that. I'm here to basically say that, what if more people, I guess, would actually just acknowledge that maybe certain reasons why they are certain ways that hurt people stems from something that's in their subconscious that they truly don't know about. And even though it's a part of them, they don't want to admit that it's a part of them. And I try not to be like that. Like, even when my daughter says certain things, like, about, like, whatever, and I'm like, well, use me as a mirror, sister, because if you see something you don't like in me, it's in you. It's in you somewhere. You got to figure out where it is, and you got to break that cycle, because I'll tell you what, my mom sure didn't do it. My grandma sure couldn't do it. My cousins sure can't do it. My other sister died before she was even born. She wasn't going to do it. And so I'm here, I'm the family curse breaker, and it's not easy. It's not even pleasant. Let's just get that out of the way. It's really not. So, I think we're all coming here on different playing fields. Some of us are coming here from such a deficit that when we crawl our way up through the depths of hell that we've survived and finally land to a neutral ground, it's just different than people who are, like, born into, like, whatever normal is. A loving father, a loving mother, support, care, guidance, people wanting you, not just tolerating you, When you have an interest and you're actually supported in that interest, your subconscious is going to be a lot different than somebody who's endured constant neglect, constant abuse. Take me, for example. my suffering as an adult here. Clearly, my main problem is I want love, I want affection, I want held, I want kisses, hugs, sex. You know, this is what I want in my life, and this is what I am deprived of in my life. But take that back to childhood. You know, my dad says I would just sit in that playpen and scream, and then it was like, oh, just leave the baby alone, because that was like the method that people said was like the thing to do. I mean, I probably never came back from that, you know? So that's deep buried in my subconscious, and I've uprooted it to try to like heal it, but like I'm starting to wonder if there's just things people just don't heal from. I like to think that if I ever found someone to love me, I would heal. You know, that's clearly like all I want. And it's like you see normal people having this every day. Like it's not even an issue. Like the things that I actually want are actually quite simple, but it has to be from a person who is devoted, you know. And it's really hard for me to even have a conversation with someone who is too scared to actually look into their own subconscious. So hence the bugs. What kind of different bugs and species of insects are crawling around in that brain of yours that you're too scared to name, or that you want to hurry up and put on a repellent for? Because honey, let me tell you what, just because those bugs crawl up into your laundry pile or crawl back into the walls of your house and you can't see them, don't mean they're not there. Get learned, get turned.